Okay, so hello. This is gonna be a bit of a different video from what I usually do. I usually do something where I'm commenting on the on whatever I'm doing during the game, whether it's just regular commentary, if I'm trying to do something instructional. But I actually ended up getting the Devour Hope Chronicle done on my own on accident while I was just trying to play Legion and just happened to throw on Devour Hope and unfortunately, while I wasn't recording my audio, I ended up getting the four-man Devour Hope. Now, I'm not gonna take this as an excuse to try to not do Devour Hope anymore. I'm gonna still try and get that four-man while I'm actually recording my audio. But this time around, I think I'm just gonna play the video, and I'm just gonna commentate over it in person, just try and talk through what I was thinking from an outside perspective without having to actually go in and, or sorry, without having to actually talk about it while I'm playing, because that does end up making me play a little bit worse, and I usually don't get to say exactly what I'm trying to say because I get caught up in the game. So um, that's what we're gonna be doing today. So today I am running Thanatophobia so that for every injured survivor, they do most actions 4% slower, up to 16% if all 4 survivors are injured. This is an awesome perk for Legion because Legion is one of the killers that has a great time getting everyone injured really quickly. Thanks to the Feral Frenzy, you can just chain hits back to back rather, and make sure that everybody stays injured. Then we have Pop Goes the Weasel. I love this perk, honestly. It's probably the best gen perk in the game right now. And what it does essentially is when you hook somebody for 60 seconds, whenever you kick a generator, or sorry, for the first generator you kick, that generator will get regressed by 25%. So it basically just buys you 20 seconds on a generator. Stack that on top of Thanatophobia, the 20 seconds ends up turning into 24 seconds. For example, maybe 22 seconds. And those extra 2 or 4 seconds might not seem like a lot, but in a lot of situations it ends up being a huge difference. It lets you get to generator right before it finishes, something like that. So. Pop Goes the Weasel, amazing perk, and Thanatophobia really gets a lot of value coming out of it. Now, Surge is a perk I've been running a little bit more recently, and I'm actually really starting to enjoy using this perk. It's not the best perk in the game by a long shot, but it is really fun to use because it means you can just keep the game going. You don't have to worry about having to stop, kick a generator, anything like that. So whenever you're using Surge, if you down somebody with a regular attack, so that means no Huntress Hatchets, for example, no chainsaws for Billy and Leatherface. When you down somebody with just a regular attack, any generator within 32 meters of you will instantly explode and start regressing, and that first explosion is going to take away 8% of the generator automatically. So instead of just regressing normally, it takes away 8% and then starts regressing normally. So essentially, this just lets you down somebody and keep going. You don't have to worry about the generator they were just working on, because if you down them near that generator and you know that there's nobody else there, then no one's going to be working on it while you go hook them, and then if you go away and nobody knows about it, then Surge just lets you get a lot of value there by making sure that generator will stay down. And of course, the title perk, the most most important perk in this build, is Devour Hope. Now, this is a hex totem that whenever you're 24 meters away from an unhook, you get one token. And for each token, you get different types of buffs. So for 2 tokens, you have 5% haste, which means you're 5% faster for 10 seconds after hooking a survivor. Essentially, this just lets you get away from the hook that tiny bit faster, lets you get maybe towards a generator if you know that there's a generator you can hit with Pop Goes a Weasel, or if your surge is on cooldown, whatever it may be. It just helps you get there a little bit faster. Now, 3 tokens. This is usually what you want to be aiming for using Devour Hope. And it means that everybody's one shot to you automatically. So if they've been healing all game, especially if you're like on a killer like Legion where you don't have to heal against them generally, Devour Hope just completely turns it around for them. They'll think they're safe, and until that very first hit, they'll keep treating you as if you'll still hit them, get them to injured, then you'll have to hit them again, whatever. Devour Hope gives you a great chance to get not only an easy down for the first survivor you hit, but it just allows you to snowball so much once you get it to 3 tokens with that extra, or with that exposed status effect. And 5 tokens is what we're aiming for, and what we ended up getting. Essentially, whenever you get 5 tokens, you can just down people and mori them right there on the ground. You don't have to worry about hooking them. You don't have to worry about them being the last survivor alive, whatever it may be. You can just kill them however you want, as quickly as you want, until the totem is broken. So yeah, just a quick reminder: the whole Devour Hope Chronicle thing is me trying to get 4 moris with Devour Hope. Unfortunately, so far, the only time it's worked out is when I wasn't recording audio, like I said before. But hopefully I can change that after this. I do want to really quickly point out, I am running 2 duration add-ons for Feral Frenzy. These are great. These let you keep going on in chases for longer distances. With the Frenzy, it just allows you to chain hits together a lot better too. And you can respect pallets a little bit more when you're running these add-ons and you're in the Frenzy. So just all around good add-ons in my opinion. But yeah, let's get into the analysis. Okay, so first things first, loading up into Ormond. This is a new Ormond, so the map's a little bit smaller. Actually, no, never mind. This was the old Ormond. My bad. So this map is still terrible for killers at this point. It's a little bit more bearable now, but that's beside the point. This is gonna be a difficult map for me because generally there's bad totem spawns on this map. I walk over towards the killer shack, and like, this gen already has way too much progress. I know there's more than one person that's been on it, so I go to my Frenzy right away and just try to get a hit on this Fang. Now, this poor bunny Fang was just trying to hide in a locker, and I don't know if the other Fang was trying to sandbag her or not, but oh well, gives me a free down. Now, I know this Fang couldn't have gotten anywhere at all, so especially since she didn't have lights, so I just come straight back over, and she made a huge mistake here and gave me an easy down. I procced Surge on a generator, so that's already regressing, and I don't have to kick it. I think she was like waiting for me to kick it or something before she left. I don't really know. Since she isn't wiggling though, it lets me go for that swing on the Jake. I think she realized that she should have started wiggling. If she started wiggling since the moment I picked her up, I'm not 100% sure I would have made this hook, but that's beside the point. I hear this generator right next to me being worked on, and me being me, I don't respect pallets because there's no reason to. If you get stunned, you get stunned. I saw that, excuse me, I saw that Ash just run away into fucking Narnia, so I turned around and just popped the generator. Now you do notice I left that, excuse me. You will notice that I left that pallet down. That's going to be important later on because it's a pretty unsafe pallet, honestly. And I come over, and this is where I realized what I was doing, or what that Fang was doing in the locker. She's going for head on. Now I go for Frenzy here to not only get an easy hit on her. That way I knew that she was more likely than not going to drop the God pallet here in the Killer Shack, and that put her in a really bad spot when I forced her back into the Killer Shack. So it put her in a difficult situation here where she has to drop this pallet now, and if she doesn't play it correctly, I gotta down her. Now unfortunately that generator ahead of me did get finished. If I could have gotten this down maybe like 2 seconds faster, I would have been able to stop it, but that's the side of the point. This Ash just fucking runs into me, so I don't know. I get the easy hit on him. I'm looking around for this Fang right here though, and I have no idea where she went. I didn't even hear them healing her. Now you will notice I ignored the Jake at first. That was to try and bait him into staying for a little bit longer. Now he did get the heal off, which is perfectly fine by me, because these 3 are wasting a shitload of time. Now that swing is kind of weird because I was expecting her dead hard. I didn't think she would dead hard like 90 degrees to the right though. That was kind of weird. But since I know that both the Fangs are injured and the Ash just spent a lot of time running away and healing that I now see in the bottom left, I know that I have plenty of time to hook him, and at this point, I just want to get my Devour Hope stacks going. If it were a regular game, I probably would have kept chasing that Fang into the middle building, even though the middle building's a pain. But I want to get my stacks up as fast as possible. Now this is great. I come over to check this generator, and I just happened to catch the Ash as the third stack goes off for Devour Hope. So now I know I have one shots for him, so he's screwed one way or another. I missed that swing just barely, slightly miscalculated how far he was. But then right here, this is a game-defining moment in my opinion. Right now, all the survivors know that I have Devour Hope. This is where I have to start playing a little bit more territorial, and you'll see me start to camp this area that I'm at right now a little bit harder than I was previously. I do hear this gen going off inside, so I come over to check it out, but I don't see anyone. I might as well just kick it. I don't really have much better to do. Now, I do think that was a mistake, considering how low on progress the generator was, and you see I keep turning back towards the totem, because it's a very open totem. But yeah, I think I could have actually stopped this generator, but whatever, that's in the past. I heard this thing off to my left, that's why I turned to my left. And here you see why this pallet is so good to leave up, because it just those rocks completely block the LOS of the survivor onto you. And that lets them run into you, basically, because it's such a short loop. Now, I am going to kick the pallet now, because I think whenever you have an unsafe pallet, kicking pallets, or whenever you have a pallet you've left down, if you get a hook or something in the area, I think that's probably the right time to kick them. Now this Fang in the pink tried to farm the other girl, which is kind of a dick move. So, no remorse for the Fang. I remember she had dead hard, and I went for a swing. That missed, unfortunately, but I did wait out the dead hard before I swung, so that's something crucial to keep in mind. Now, my thought process right here is I didn't see anyone in that totem when I looked over before I picked her up, so I have all the time in the world to hook her and get my 5th stack going. So, I'm going to come back over to this totem, and even more so now, I'm going to start playing territorial, because I want this 5th stack so bad, and I want this 4-man so bad. But this is where you actually start getting a lot of value out of Devour Hope here. When you get it at 3 stacks with Surge, it just makes it so that you can get proc Surge so often. Now, I have a feeling that girl was trying to use her decisive on me, but I didn't want her to. And I start walking back towards the unhook, and then I realize, oh wait, that's my 5th stack. So turn around, dude. This is still one of my favorite mores in the game, honestly, and I think it looks sick with the Day of the Dead body. Now that was probably the worst spot I could have done the Morian, but that's whatever. This is one of the few times you'll see me use Frenzy when I'm not in a chase. Usually, if you know that survivors, you don't want to use it if you don't know where survivors are, basically, unless you know that there is a place that survivors are going to be. So exit gates, the trap door, lit totem. If you want to protect those, that's when I think you should use Frenzy. And I see scratch marks on these trees. I know someone's around here, and if I were hiding like this guy probably is, I would have hid behind this rock. That's why I came back to check it. I go for the Mori here, and I think this angle just looks amazing with the rocks closing us in, basically. Now, when I was playing this game and I heard that first notification go off, I got really worried that it was going to be on Devour Hope, but I looked back over and it's nowhere near it. I'm going to come back yet again to check on it, just to make sure nobody's on it. Because at the end of the day, that is what this whole series is about, trying to get these Devour Hope stacks. And Moris, I mean. Now, they dropped a pallet at some point and made a bunch of noise. I don't really know why, but oh well. Just 3 points for me. And this is sweet karmic justice. Dickhead fucking Ash decided he wanted to be a funny guy and motion over to me as if he was gonna be able to body block it for that Fang to finish off the totem. Nope. I'm gonna kill him in the grass like the fucking raptors in Jurassic Park 2. I do come back over towards this Fang, and if I wasn't going for the 4-man Devour Hope, I probably would have let her go, because it was kind of funny how she just sat there crouching. But oh well, that's Devour Hope Chronicles. That, man, it really sucks I didn't record audio when I was doing it, but oh well. I'm definitely gonna do this again. And if you have any challenge ideas for the future, just let me know in the comments. Any builds, whatever it may be. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.